Welcome back to FallingFoxGaming, everybody. I am your host Blaine, and today we're going to be playing some more Stellaris. We finally have the LEM update, which is a 3.1 update, and they've actually made a whole bunch of changes to some of my favorite playstyles here in Stellaris. It broke my last game, and so I kind of quit playing for a while to let some of the stuff get fleshed out. But now that 3.1 is here, they've actually fixed a lot of the issues that I was having, and they've actually added in a whole bunch of really cool stuff for me. So personally, I kind of almost feel like this is an update for me because I just love everything they've done so far. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we're actually going to be playing as here. So we're going to be playing a Grand Admiral difficulty light roleplay campaign. What that means is we're playing as a young Hive Mind named Willow. She has just kind of come into her own, and she's just hit the space age stage where she's going to explore the star systems around her. So let's take a look at what the Willow Hive actually has. They have the Gestalt consciousness, which reduces war exhaustion. They have increased monthly influence, and they have increased encryption. They have basic Hive Mind, which is increased population growth speed and reduced Empire Sprawl penalty. One of the new things that are in the game, the Cadillac processing, which means essentially they use food instead of minerals to create alloys. Idyllic Bloom, which effectively means that any tropical planet that they control, they can slowly turn into a Gaia world over the course of 4 upgrade phases. The actual Nalian species that we are playing as is hive-minded, which means they're not affected by happiness. They have another one of the new traits, Budding, which means they gain monthly organic population increase as long as their population is considered a slave or better, which they are as a hive mind. We're going to be taking Agrarian, which increases our food production by 15%, and we are non-adaptive, which means we have Habitability 10% penalty. This is going to be a pretty big penalty early on, so hopefully we can offset that pretty quickly. And then finally, we're going with the Tree of Life Origin, which means each one of our planets that we actually send a colony ship to and our starting planet has a Tree of Life, which gives us some bonuses, one of the big ones being increased population growth speed. But that also means that our colony ships are a lot more expensive, so that's something that we'll have to consider as we go into this. So let me give you guys a little bit of a rundown on this. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing as a hive mind called the Willow Hive. Now, Willow is a roleplay character of mine who is a young Gestalt hive mind being. She can create drones and stuff, and eventually she's going to be able to start creating her own space empire. This is kind of going to be an offshoot of that. So in this, she's a young hive mind that has basically finally taken control of an entire planet and has just reached out into the stars. That's kind of how we're going to go, and I have a whole bunch of different species that are all going to be thrown into the galaxy that I've personally created. So hopefully we run into those, and hopefully we don't run into the assholes too early on. We're playing on Grand Admiral, so let's go ahead and just take a quick peek at our settings just to show you guys. Now these are my pretty much standard settings whenever I play the game. We're going to be playing a huge galaxy, so 1,000 stars, 2 spiral arms, 30 AI empires, 3 fallen empires, 2 marauding, standard tech and everything, and then times 5 primitive civilizations because I actually really like primitive civilizations being thrown out everywhere. I don't really care for the crises in this game. I honestly think they're just kind of a huge waste of time. I don't think they add really too much to the game, and to me, they're a little boring, so we're just going to leave them at times 1. We're still going to let them show up, so we'll just put it on random, but for that, our mid game and end game is just the standard 2300 and 2400, and then the Grand Admiral difficulty, no scaling difficulty, standard AI aggression, and that's kind of it. And then I will be turning off Caravaneers and the Xeno capability. I honestly just really do not care for the Caravaneers. I've never really had anything interesting or fun come from them. I just find them to be an annoyance, so I'm turning them off. And Xeno capability is kind of the same thing. Cool idea, but I think it just floods the galaxy with too many species, so I'm just going to leave it off to basically save myself a headache in the future. So let's go ahead and jump straight into the game. Willow's memories of the early days is faint. That time period is almost lost to her. The only memory she has is of a large tree, something she was bonded to beyond explanation. Her senses grew with the tree. The larger it got, the more she could see and sense of the world. Eventually, over time, she could see the entire planet. From the ground, she looked up to the stars. That is where she belonged. Over the course of several decades, her knowledge in physics and engineering grew rapidly. She learned the ways of space travel, and when she felt it was time, she reached out through her solar system and began harvesting the other resources within it. That's when she looked to the stars beyond her own solar system. What else was out there? It's time she learned. So here we are just spawned into our system. Now, this is actually really cool. It looks like we spawned in a nebula, which is not exactly common. Now, nebulas are actually pretty cool because they actually block sensors from the outside seeing into them. But honestly, in single player, it's not that impressive because honestly, I think the AI just cheat through it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. That's okay. But let's go ahead and get our sciences picked out here. Ah, what? No way. We got Spark of Genius for all 3 of our people. That's crazy. Hold on. What is our other leaders? So we have 3 geniuses for our research people. That is amazing. That is probably the best start I think I've ever actually had. And then we have an archaeologist, so that's not super great for our scientist that's out surveying and stuff, but I don't care. That is crazy. That is going to be super helpful. And then we have an architectural interest person for our governor. Not the best, but also not the worst, so I will take it. I am completely shocked by this. This is so cool. I'm really happy about that. This is actually the first time I haven't taken intelligent as one of my traits in a very long time because I like actually doing science rushes, so that's really cool to have as kind of a bonus. Back to what I was saying though. So wait, hold on, let's not do our sciences yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a look at where we are in the galaxy. So, ooh, that's cool. Go ahead and minimize that. So we are in the very bottom right corner, almost near the end of this spiral arm here. Not quite at the end. Actually, this is kind of nice because we're not close enough to where we're going to get boxed in, but we're close enough to where if we want to push this way, we can maybe attempt to do that. I like that. Okay, so we're in a nebula, so we actually can't see any of the hyperlanes or anything, so we're actually just kind of going off of a guess. Although I do see one thing that I kind of want. That looks like a potential neutron star or something else cool, so we're going to head that way first because I like getting cool little systems. So we're going to send our ship to explore first, not survey, because we want to see what's over there first. And now that we know where we are, we can actually take a look at our sciences. Now, so I normally like going science rush, so I normally actually take the quantum theory right off the bat, but I might take improved deflectors because we are playing on Grand Admiral difficulty, and sometimes we get attacked early on, especially as a Hive Mind. And same thing here, I normally would like to go with either Unity or Science Increase, but I might actually go with Pop Growth because, you know, we're going to do that. We're kind of focusing on a Pop Growth run here, I think, so let's just go ahead and increase that. And in terms of our engineering, same thing. I normally really like taking the increased engineering. So 20% increase in engineering might be really good, though extra armor on our ships might be even better. You know, let's just go with the engineering and then up here physics because I really do like having a little bit of a science rush kind of going on. We can always focus on our ships afterwards. Now, in terms of our policies, we are going to change a couple things. We're going to make it so we always have closed borders to begin with. So that way we can stop people from just randomly wandering into our territory. And then our first contact is actually proactive. That way we get more influence when we actually talk to people. Everything else I think I'm just going to leave alone right now, so we should be fine. We're using a lot of the new mechanics in the game, so let me just kind of give you a rundown of what we're going to be focusing on. So our main planet, I already kind of messed with this, that way we'd get it set up. Our entire species is dedicated towards food production because we have 33 population right now, and we're creating 2 population currently. First of all, we have a growing population that is going to be done in 18 months. That's like half the time of a normal empire, so we're going to be growing very rapidly. On top of that, we also are assembling population. So in 41 months, we're going to get another population, which is actually a little bit closer to a normal empire's growth, if I remember correctly. So basically what we're doing is we're producing 1.5 times what they are, give or take. So we should theoretically be outpopulating everybody fairly early on, as long as we keep growing rapidly. Now that means we have to feed people. So currently we have 14 people working food jobs, producing 101 food. That might have to be kind of boosted up to actually keep us going strong, because we also use that to produce alloys. So that's something we're going to have to keep an eye on very carefully. And then we have to collect minerals so that we can do our star bases and stuff like that. So that's still kind of important. And then energy has its kind of base, requirement of being needed. So energy and minerals are now kind of sidelined for food, which is really unique. But we do still need energy and minerals for basic stuff, so we can't ignore it. So let's just go ahead and let time tick by here a little bit and see what we end up with. Just kind of popping in, our science ship entered into the next system over here. We're still in the nebula, which is kind of cool. And now we're going to go head on. Oh, I can't actually get to this. Oh, it's a pulsar. It actually says when I scroll over it. So that's a pulsar. So I can't actually even get over there. That is a little annoying. I was hoping to get there from here, and I can't get over there either. So I'm going to have to loop around somehow. There's no planet here, so we're not going to survey. So we're just going to explore over here next. It's a little unfortunate, but it happens. So my science ship just showed up in the Bijal system here, and it looks like it's actually pretty small in terms of what's actually here. There's only a few things that might be worth surveying, actually. No, you know what? We're just going to head on out. We can actually go to this system up here. Oh. Interesting. So that automatically loops that around like that. This is weird. Actually, playing in a nebula is very, very weird. So I guess we're going to let our ship kind of do that. We need to keep an eye on that ship. So if any like planets pop up that we can potentially settle, we need to survey that system. And then we need to keep an eye on our construction ship for when we get enough minerals to craft our next station. So in the Pell system here, we have a mega structure. We have a ruined mega shipyard. That's awesome. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. That's really cool. If we can get that up and going, that would be very handy. Yeah, I guess no direct use currently, though, I suppose. So we'll just keep on going. All right, so we're going to build another science ship because we need to start exploring the other direction, too, because there doesn't seem to be anything up here in terms of planets. And I want to make sure we have at least another system down. Oh, here we go. We have a, oh, hey, actually perfect. We have a size 19 tropical world right here. So that's awesome. So we're going to have this ship survey this entire area. And when our second science ship goes up, we're going to have them come behind doing surveys. Oop, burst tradition. Oh yeah, this is actually one of the big updates. So I should probably explain this before we worry about what's going on behind the scenes over there. So traditions have now been broken up into separate trees, and you don't get to pick all the trees anymore. So as you can see here, we have 7 total tradition trees that we can take. So each tradition tree is now only 5 traditions, and they're kind of broken up to make it so you actually have to specialize, and they're pretty self-explanatory: unyielding, expansion, prosperity, supremacy, and so on and so forth. You can figure out what they are just based on their name. Now for us, seeing as we are going to be expanding out to the upper right there, and it's going to be a little while before we actually get there, I think I'm going to go with expansion because I can get the new colony start with 1 additional population, and pop growth speed increase, and starbase influence cost down. I don't think the increased survey speed right now is going to help me that much. Well, actually, maybe that would. That would help me get up there quicker, but I don't really care for the other unlocks as much. So we're going to go with expansion. So that is going to be how we're going to start this. Which brings up another interesting point. Do we go ahead and try and jump over here and just take this system? We're not going to have the influence for quite a while, but we could potentially do it. Yeah, I mean, that would be 132 influence if we wanted to do that. It's actually not that bad. It's like a year away or so. A couple years, something like that. Entirely doable. God, this is so weird. Hold on, can they go? Yeah, okay, so let's take a look at this. This is really weird. So this is how we actually have to leave our system. So our system actually only has 3 exits. We can either exit to the Bayou system, the Bijal system, or this new one over here, which we're going to go over here actually. It's odd because we have systems all around, but we can't actually go to them. And being in a nebula, we can't actually see the hyperlanes. So I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit confusing. So those of you that are watching, yeah, it's probably a little bit extra confusing. What the frick? Okay, first of all, this is a really cool looking system. I would have rather been in this nebula system like that blue. That's really pretty. There is so many things here. I'm just going to survey this. I have no idea what's there. If we get stuff out of that, that could be a potentially really, really valuable system. All right, our next tradition is up, and we're going to go ahead and take Starbase influence cost down because that'll make these all easier to get. The Starbase influence cost down is actually really, really important early on because influence is very slow to be gained. So hopefully we have a colony ship that'll be due here soonish. And we're going to send that right up to here to try and take the system. We should probably actually look at this planet. This planet is trash. What? Why? Okay, so not too happy about this. So this planet has 17 industrial districts. Wow. Basically nothing for agriculture, which is what we want. So that's actually kind of a trash planet, but I guess any planet is worthy at this point. That sucks. Yeah, that's really not good. Oh well. Okay, we're going to pause here because we got two things. We have our traditions. New tradition. We're going to go ahead and do new... Ooh, actually. Yeah, new colony is going to start with 1 additional population. Boom. So that's amazing because our new colony ship is actually going to come over here fairly soon. Let's see how far... Oh, we could build the star base right now, but we're actually going to build this one first. We're going to build this one and then this one and then just keep going. Okay, so we finished with this Einkef system down here, and I gotta say, I really like it. 3 energy, 9 minerals, 3 alloys. Very, very nice. Now, it does kind of suck that they're each in a different, like, planet, so we have to build a different station on each one, which does cost money, but it'll be worth it. This is actually a really good system overall. Oh, and looks like we found another habitable world over here, finally. Size 15 only, which kind of sucks. It's a really tiny planet. All right, starbase is almost up, so that means this should be able to head over here. There we go. So our first new planet is going to be Roshan 3. So this leads to another point in this series. We're going to continue this series for a while, so if anybody wants to have a star system or a planet or a fleet or a ship or something named after them, let me know down in the comments below and I'll happily rename things for you guys. Just let me know what you want it to be. All right, so planet is going to just be Roshan Prime for now. Unless you guys come up with a better name for it. And we'll just have them continue building the mining stations here. And then after that, we're going to have him come up and take this system because that is an amazing system. So we're actually going to get another construction ship up here so that we can have it come over here and take this system as soon as we're done surveying it. And we actually just discovered moats down here too. So we actually have crystals up here, moats down here, and some alloys right here. This is a very, very good start. That makes me really nervous of what our neighbors are going to be like. If we have some aggressive neighbors, we are actually in a bit of trouble because our neighbors could potentially see what we have and want it. Now, theoretically, they shouldn't. Because we are in the nebula, that's actually supposed to be one of the big things, is they're not supposed to be able to see what's in our system, but you never know. AI be AI. I do like the start so far, though. It's very interesting to me. I feel like there has to be, we have to run into somebody over here soon. I very much doubt that this entire arm over here is empty. That's still a decent chunk left. And remember, we have 30 empires. So that's a lot of empires. It's a lot of people that could be taking up space. Okay, so 2 things. 1, tradition, which we're going to take pop growth speed because that is the most obvious choice for us right now. Boop. And then our construction ship is done down here. So we're going to go ahead and have them. Actually, hold on. We're going to select specifically. Go take those alloys. Boop. Then that mineral. Then that mineral. Then that one. All right, good timing for us. We just finished our first colony. So we start off with 2 population, which is obviously a good thing. And we're going to go over here and make sure that they're not set to do anything stupid. So we actually have amenities to start off with, which is good. And we are not lacking anything on this planet at the moment. Though I am going to say right off the bat, we need to get spawning pools up, and we're lacking the minerals, which is actually really unfortunate. So we need to try and save up our minerals so we can get that down immediately. In fact, I'm going to sell some food to do that. I might as well just go ahead and sell a bunch of food, seeing as we have a whole bunch of it, and then buy a whole bunch of minerals because we can. I'm not going to spend all of our energy because we need it. Going to spend 500. Well, not spend 500, buy 500 is what I meant. And that will allow us to throw down the spawning pools, which is arguably the most important thing for us because population growth is what we're going for. Now, I will say, looking at this, I'm a little bit concerned. So we have a pretty good start off. Our entire empire has a nice kind of feel to it. It's kind of blobby. I would like it to be a little more condensed. I'd like to get these systems so that we have our own little like blockade here. But what I'm worried about is we have yet to find an actual choke point. There is no choke points that I've seen yet. Every single place we go, there's a whole bunch of ways out of it. And that is actually kind of making me nervous, especially because I can't see the hyper... Wait. Oh my goodness. I had the hyper lanes hidden. Why did I have them hidden? Oh my god, I feel so stupid now. This entire time I've been playing, being like, I can't see the hyperlanes. This is really difficult. I had the freaking key block. Oh my god. If you guys are looking at this, watching, just yelling at me, I apologize. Oh my god, I might have just severely screwed myself. Well, on the bright side, this guy's going the right way, so we actually got this choke point down, so that's actually pretty perfect. And over here, well, I guess there isn't really a choke point yet. I guess like potentially here and here. Okay, yeah, oh my god. I am so sorry if you guys have been watching this just panicking and screaming at me. I had no idea. That's my bad. Okay, construction done here. So, that was a good system, right? Yeah, that was the really good system. So we need to get up here to take, to take this system. With that being taken, that means we also need to get our other colony ship out. So let's do that. So we're gonna have a colony ship come take this planet as soon as we get that system. And technically that is a form of a choke point if things get really bad. That's actually not a bad holdout place. We would need another one. Well, I guess technically we have over here. So we technically do have 2 choke points into our tiny little area of our empire. So worst case scenario, we do have a tiny choke point set up. Kind of. Well, not yet, but soon we will. And here we go. I actually just found somebody potentially. First contact, okay. Do they have anything in this system? Where is it? Okay, it's way up here. So they just came into this system from this way. Where is that way? Okay, so they're over here. Ooh, is that potentially from the other arm? Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. We're going to go ahead and do the first contact event. We have 2 open envoys, so let's just go ahead and send one. Let's do Fawns of Teal. Now, that is going to take some time. All right, tradition up. Now, Starbase upkeep, not bad to have reduced. And Empire Sprawl actually wouldn't be that bad either. But we're actually going to go under new traditions. Our next step is going to be adaptability for traditions. It's going to allow us to have the population housing usage down, which is pretty important, I guess. That's probably not the main reason why I'm taking it. I'm taking it because I want habitability up, which is going to offset our penalty that we have. And then our monthly food is going to go up by 10% as well. So that is pretty amazing. And then these are kind of okay things, but don't really care about those. We want adaptability to help us. And this guy, what did he discover here? Anything interesting? So they don't have a star base here. Weird. All right, we're going to go over one more. There's too many things to survey there, so I'm not going to worry about trying to do that. It would take us too long, so I'm just going to try and quickly... I'm going to try and find where their base is, basically, like their closest star system. Finally, we can take this system here. Our colony ship should be almost done. Yep, 75 days. Okay, so it looks like we found one of their outposts. So they have a star base here, clearly. Alien space station, yep, so they are doing stuff here. This system must have a lot. Actually, they have a decent amount of space stations in this system. Wait, that's a vessel, space station, yes, they have a couple at least. Yeah, they have several things. So that this system must be actually worth a decent amount. But more importantly, that means they're there. So we're actually going to head over this way and start surveying. Now, this guy is actually going to kind of drop what he's doing. Can he build anything there yet? No. So he's going to finish up what he's doing, actually. When he's done there, we're going to try and make a break for this system here and cut them off. We need to isolate them right here if we can. If we can't, we're just going to stop right here and then just call it a day and then focus on going the other direction. Colony ship is also done. So we're going to have them come over here and colonize this planet. Again, Tibicor Prime. Again, if you guys want to rename that, let me know. Actually, let's take a look at the planet. We didn't look at it. See if it's any good. There we go, an agricultural world. That is awesome. That should be a pretty dang good world for us. So this is going to be important for us. So looking at this, honestly, if there is a species up here that we're not too worried about, like in terms of aggression, I'm okay turtling from this direction and focusing down this way because this is a really good system. a really good planet. I do not want to lose it, so it might be worth focusing more of our defenses down this way, if need be. All right, we found out that they are receptive, which is awesome. Hopefully they'll stay that way. And we found some exotic gases down here, so we officially have found at least one of every resource. Not necessarily within our grasp, but at least it's around us, so we'll know. We'll also know if a neighbor has it, which is a good thing if they end up taking it from us. Alright, our home planet is suffering from something. Lack of jobs. Get on food making. How is the other planet doing, by the way, with that? They're producing food. Good. Everything good? Everything's good. This would be a good choke point. There's like no way possible that we're going to get this choke point. But I'm actually just going to go out this way now just simply for the fact of potentially finding whoever's over here. That'd be so awesome if we could actually just like completely block this off, though. Not going to happen. But more importantly, we should have enough. Yes, we have enough to get this system. I think we got it. I think we actually got this system. There's no one else building here. They don't have their space station here. Yes. Okay, so this will be our system. So, whew, I'm not going to lie. That was a little... Oh, whoa, hold on. A whole bunch of things all at once. So let's do first contact first. Yep, there we go. The Mutagen Merchant Guild. Perfect. So 36 influence, which is what we really need right now. That's awesome. Boop. Close those so I don't forget. Well met. So Merchant Guild is always nice to have. Go ahead and just kind of talk with them just to show what we can do. So they have a strategic resource. If we click on it, we can buy it for a monthly cost. So we can start getting 1 rare crystal per month for 10 credits a month. Now, right now, that would be rough. And it might honestly be worth doing just simply for the fact of holding on to the reputation we get from them, because it will build our influence with them and they'll like us a little bit more. And eventually we'll be able to do this where we can actually learn a little bit about them and get some special stuff from them. That's not, a concern right now, honestly, though. So let's go with our new tradition. Now we can either do monthly food increase, which we're sitting at 27. I would like that to be higher. Or habitability increase. We're going to do the habitability increase because that's one of the things that's actually holding us back. That might actually bring up our numbers just doing that alone. So let's take a look at that. So we'll do the habitability increase. We have for sure, a couple planets doing something. So let's see. It's 25, 54, 27. Let's see if that does anything at the end of the month. 25. Yeah, by 1. Okay. And it might not even have been from that. So that's a little bit of a letdown, but whatever. Now, from up here, this is a weird place. So the thing is, we don't know if there's anything over here. At the same time, we don't know how much of this they've taken. So let's just go ahead and just start winding around the edge of the nebula up here. There's another nebula that's right over here somewhere, so we're just going to kind of keep crawling that way. Oh, we found out some stuff about them. Yes. Okay, so research gained, 540 society research, 60 influence, which is exactly what we need right now. And let's see what we learned about them. Our translation drones have made a major breakthrough in their effort to decipher the signals picked up from the Alpha aliens, and are now confident that we are able to communicate with them on a sufficient level to open diplomatic channels with them. Their investigations have confirmed that what we suspected. The Genlots, okay, as we know them to be properly called, completely lack any sort of collective intelligence, and is instead made up of independent thinking individuals who, for some reason we don't properly understand yet, choose to organize themselves into what they call a moral democracy. The discovery of a highly advanced civilization of individuals had led us to question many of our assumptions about the nature of the universe. We have devoted a not insignificant part of ourselves to investigating how they developed and how they will overcome a challenge inherent to lack of collective consciousness as we know it. Yay! Okay, so here are the first people that we met. They are cool looking. I do like that. I honestly don't remember this portrait at all. And I don't know why I don't. I don't even... Interesting. I don't know why I don't remember that. That's a cool picture, though. I do like that. That's kind of a cool portrait. I really like that. Same with this. This is cool. This is a cool species. I like them. I like everything about them. So good on them. Oh my god, really? That could not be better. They're fanatic pacifists, which means they cannot attack us. That is amazing. And spiritualists, which means they might dislike us a little bit. But you know what? We're going to be nice to them. So our first species encounter is potential, or actually our first two is going to be potentially friendly, because these guys up here, the Merchant Guild, they're going to be nice because, you know, they kind of have to be. They're, you know, they don't have an army or anything. Okay, so let's take a quick pause here. So their empire seems to spread from over this way. Okay, let's try and do some like actual true diplomacy with them for a minute here and see what that kind of goes like. So first of all, they naturally dislike us. I'm guessing because I'm a hive mind. So we're going to try and improve relations right off the bat. And I'm going, can we do that with 2 people? I don't know how that works. Well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to try and improve relations with them. They seem to be cooperative, which is awesome. And yeah, so we're going to start with that. So I forgot to open my border to them, actually. Which actually hurt relations quite a lot, actually, because that means they close their border with us too. Hopefully they're not harming our relations. Okay, they're not. Good. So I'm going to leave my border open. Good. They opened their border too. Yep, so that was just my mistake. See, that's one problem with having a closed border naturally, is you sometimes make a stupid mistake like that. Here we go. We have another new planet down. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to get spawning pools up for this. Boom. That's the most important thing for that. And all of our resources are actually doing okay, so we're going to leave that alone for now. And let's just kind of take a look at everything. Let's do... I'm gonna build another agricultural district there. So I think this is actually where we're going to leave it off. So let's take a look at everything that we've accomplished so far. So we now officially have 3 planets down. We have 2 colonies, which are very tiny. We have our capital, which is, you know, it's doing pretty good. I mean, we're on year 12, almost year 13, and we're sitting at 51 population. That's pretty awesome. I'm really happy with that. I don't think that could be much better. I mean, obviously, if you're min-maxing, you could probably do better than that, but I think for our current situation, we're actually doing really, really good. We're actually about to crank out 2 more populations here too, just on this planet alone. And our colony is about to actually pump out another population as well. So we're actually about to get 3 more population here in just a few months. I think we're actually in a pretty good situation. So up north here, let's take a look. On our left side, so I guess like Galaxy West, we have pacifists, fanatical pacifists, who actually kind of like us, and I feel like will eventually really like us because, I mean, honestly, they're already at -30 and they were at -60 to start with, so that's pretty cool. We can guarantee their independence. That sounds awful. I'm not doing that because that sounds like potential fight later on when I don't want to get involved in that. To the right, we have the Merchant Guild, which isn't really anything, but, you know, that means that they're not hostile, so that's cool. We don't know what's up here, if anything. There's a good chance there is something up there, so I'm not going to consider this safe yet. But at the very least, this is an amazing choke point, so we'll probably upgrade this here. Actually, let's do that right now. We'll spend the alloys, we have them. So we're going to upgrade this to be our choke point for our northern outpost. So that is going to be pretty much our biggest defense area. Down south here, it's actually just as good, realistically. So we have what is effectively 2 choke points, and they're kind of close to being ready. Our southern scout down here has not run into anybody, so that means there's nobody building too close here anyways. I mean, there might be like right here even, but that's still several systems away. That gives us a chance to block this off if we need to. At the same time, we're about to take this system, which means we can get this choke point or this choke point as we see fit. This will probably be the better choke point for our system to block anything over here, but we don't even know what's over there yet because this guy's just getting over there. So our southern border is about to be shored up as well. Now, the problem is if we shore up right here, we end up being kind of boxed in between pacifists and these guys, potentially, if we can't go up this way. And if we do go up that way, that's going to make us a really long empire, which could be really annoying to defend, but, you know, that's future problems. For now, we just have a lot of really cool stuff, and I'm actually like really happy about everything that we've kind of run into. So I really hope you guys are enjoying this so far. I am. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this episode, please do me a huge favor. Like the video, comment down below anything. All the comments and the likes and everything help my channel out. So anything you guys have to say or want to say, it's good to hear from you guys. If you want anything renamed after you, whether it be like a construction ship or a science ship, because I think we can rename all of them. I can rename everything. Yeah, so I can rename all the science ships, the construction ships, our fleets, like our military fleet, the planets. I can rename pretty much everything. So if you guys want anything named after you, just tell me. I'm happy to rename stuff as long as it's obviously appropriate for the channel and not offensive. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'll see you next time.